Sat Shri Akal. This video is going to be all about the questions that you have asked me all the time, like how do I travel so much, how do I earn money, what do I do, who am I, how I make my videos, what gear do I use, where am I going next. So if you are interested in any of these questions, stay tuned. So I'm gonna divide this video in 4 sections. First one would be who am I, what's my story, how I started traveling. Second one would be after quitting my job, how am I sustaining my travels, how I'm funding my travels, how do I earn money. Third one would be how do I make videos, what gear do I use, what software do I use to edit videos. And the last one would be where am I going next. So I'm going to put the timestamps somewhere over here, and you can, if you are interested in some specific things, you can just jump to that timestamp. Otherwise, keep watching. Okay, so starting with my introduction. So my name is Devang, and I'm 29 years old. I was born in this small city of Kapurthala in Punjab, and I did my schooling, everything from here. I was really good at studies, so I had only 2 options, either to become an engineer or a doctor. So I chose engineering. I graduated from Thapar University in Patiala, and even there I was like, studious, kind of. I was among the toppers. Like the point I'm trying to make is that all my life I was working hard just to get a good job and get good money. Then I went to Pune, spent like 2 months there, came back to Noida, then I switched jobs, then I went to Gurgaon. So like in total I spent 7 years working in the software industry. Now coming to the part like when I started traveling, it was I guess in 2015. My first trek was back in 2012, but then I did not travel anywhere. I did go to Singapore and stuff, but that was a family trip. Then in 2015 I started traveling. Like I did my first trek of that year was Triund, and then I went to Bede, Billing. Then I did a long trek with India Hikes. That was Roopkund. That's still my highest, 16,500 feet. The same year I did a lot of other treks like Kedarkant. So in 2016 I was traveling with my family and doing road trips with my friends. I went to Northeast, Gujarat, Andamans, Jammu Kashmir. So I did a lot of traveling within India. But then it was 2017. I met a friend of mine. He did an MBA, and in the exchange program he went to Europe. So we did a trek together. We walked up to Rohtang because it was closed. So like in those 3 days, he told me so many stories about Europe. And in June, I was in Europe myself. I was there for 3 weeks, and maybe that was the turning point when I started taking traveling seriously. After that, I came back to India. I bought a drone, and I did a video here in my village. Then I showed it to a resort, and they invited me over for doing a video. So that was my first professional video in 2017. And then I approached Air Astana, and then I went to Kazakhstan. After Kazakhstan, I got a project with the Indian Navy. I did a video for them. So the thing is that a lot of stuff was happening, and I could see that okay, there is there can be a possibility of making a career in this thing. And then I decided to quit my job. I quit my job. I served a notice of 2 months. On 1st of April 2018, I was a free man, a free bird. I had a friend, I had a Facebook friend. He was in Sri Lanka, so he was like, yeah, come over, I'll show you Sri Lanka. I spent 1 month in Sri Lanka. I came back, figured out my Russian visa. I went to Russia for 1 month, and I went to Kazakhstan again for 1 month. So a lot of traveling was happening. Then I got a few projects with Mahindra. So yeah, the year was kind of good. Like yeah, I had imagined that I'll be traveling to many more places. but I just did 3 countries, 4 countries after quitting my job. But then I was, I was staying there for months. Like I stayed in Russia for 1 month. I stayed in Kazakhstan for 1 month. I stayed in Sri Lanka for 1 month. So yeah, that was like, a really good experience, because I was not just going to a country, spending 2 days and coming back. I was living there. Okay, now coming to the next section, which is my life after quitting my job. So I worked for 7 years in the IT industry. I was earning good amount of money. My life was sorted. Like I was traveling. I was still traveling. I traveled to Europe and I traveled to Kazakhstan while I still had my job. So traveling was not an issue. But then every time I had to travel, I had to ask my boss, छुट्टी मिलेगी क्या? So and also, like, even if I get a leaves, they'll be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks at max. So like I went to Europe, I went to 6 countries, but I was just there for 3 weeks. Like I was just hopping from one city to the other. I was not experiencing the place. So one of the reason was that. Second reason was that I was not liking the city of Delhi because of all the pollution and stuff. Third thing, I wanted to come back to my hometown, spend some time with my parents. Also, I was seeing a possibility of a career in video making. So yeah, so all of these reasons came together, and I quit my job. So now, after I quit my job, how do I manage the expenses of my traveling? Where does the money come from? So to answer that question, like as I worked for 7 years, I had a good saving. So when I was quitting the job, I had this thing in my mind that, okay, I have this much money. Even if I don't get any project or anything, I can still travel for like 1 year or 2 years. So I had that thing in my mind. उसको गोभी बेचनी है अभी यार. ओ यार चल जा यार. ओ चल जा लंग जा ओए. It's coming to the part, how do I earn money? I do freelance projects, be it photography or making videos. The thing is that when you're a smaller brand, people will not approach you. You will have to approach them. So like I was in Moscow, I approached a travel agency that I want to do videos. If like I'll be traveling in Russia, if you want some videos, I can make some videos for you. And yeah, so they agreed. They paid me well for a few videos. I made a few videos for them, and then I was making videos for some resorts in India. While in Kazakhstan, I did a video for a hostel there. So the thing is that you have to be your own sales representative. You have to be your own PR, and you have to approach brands. Like I approached Air Astana. Showed them my work, so they liked it, and that's how they sponsored my flights to Kazakhstan and then to Russia as well. So like traveling as a content creator or a blogger is like sometimes you get some barter deals that you'll get a free tour with the travel agency. You have to do a video for them. Money saved is money earned. So you get free tours. Otherwise, you can always sell your content. So like there was this video for Moscow. I did like the drone video of Moscow. It was on YouTube. I got an email from some company in Europe that they want my content, and I sold my content to them. So yeah, it's like in India, people just steal the content. Like it has happened a lot of times. But then there are some good people as well. Like the big brands, they don't do it. They always ask for your permission, and then they pay you well as well. So combining all of this, in the last year I made decent money. Almost the same amount of money I made in my first year of job in 2010. But then my expenses are a little bit more than my earnings. Like the most important part here is that I live with my parents, so I don't have to pay any rent. I don't have to buy groceries. So all that is sorted. My expenses are only my travel expenses almost. This year, I did manage to, you know, there was just this gap there, this is my income and this is my expenditure. There is a gap, and that gap I fill with using my savings. So a lot of people think that YouTube gives you loads of money, but it's not exactly true. So like if I see my stats of the last 28 days, I've got like 84,000 views in the last 28 days, and all I have earned is $16. So like all of this depends on where your video is being watched. If it's being watched in India and the Asian countries, the money you get is much lesser, as compared to if your video is being watched in the US or Korea or like other countries. Other than the monetary part, after I quit my job, life is good, and every day of my life is different. But it's not the same that I have to get up at this time, go to the office, see the same faces every day, come back home, sleep. It's not like that. So like I meet new people. That's that's one of the most valuable things that I consider, that I'm meeting new people. I'm meeting interesting people. The second thing is that when I'm home, I get to spend time with my parents. I'm no longer living in Delhi and they are living here. So like we are having family time. So a lot of positives. Yeah. Now coming to the part how I make my videos. Which gear do I use? Yeah, like all of my videos, like I'm the only one who makes it, who edits it, who does everything. Okay. Time to show you. So I have DJI Mavic Pro. This drone has really helped me to take my videos to the next level. So this comes in this pouch, and if I open it, I get the drone. So you just do this. And yeah, this is the drone. Okay, so this is the drone I use for my aerial stuff. So I'm using a Nikon D5300 for my videos, and I've put on a 35mm lens on it because it's a nice lens. Then I have 10 to 20mm Nikon, and then I have a 18 to 300. This is basically like when I'm traveling with Mahindra and the cars are far away and I have to shoot from a vantage point, some video or something, so I need a zoom lens. So this is what I use. Then I have a GoPro Hero 5, really nice gear. Like I've been using it as my primary camera for my vlogs, but now I've switched over to the DSLR. But this thing is still really like you can do some really interesting things with the GoPro. Then this is the mic that I use. This is a Rode Micro, and this thing is on it to prevent the wind noise and stuff. And there is this other mic that I use, which is a wired mic, Boya 1M. And the most priced thing, my MacBook Pro. Like I keep it covered all the time because I spent a hell lot of money on it. So this is the gear that I use. I edit all my videos, everything on this machine. Now coming to the software that I use for editing videos. So the software that I use is Final Cut Pro, FCP. I started with iMovie, but then I thought of upgrading it, and yeah, FCP is a good one, but then it's not a free software, you have to buy it. If you are new to videos, you can go with iMovie, and then later on you can switch to FCP. Okay, now the last part of the video, where am I going next? So I'm going to Iceland and Greenland. I'll be in Iceland for about 9 days, and then I'll be in Greenland for 1 month. So I approached a travel agency in Greenland, and they agreed for a collaboration, and I'll be making videos for them. I'll be staying there for 1 month. Iceland, I'm doing it on my own. Yeah, it's really expensive. Like right now I'm booking my hotels, and like not hotels, hostels, and they're super expensive. Like hostels in Iceland are much more expensive than a nice hotel in India. So yeah, that's about my new travels. So if you want to get live updates of all my travels and stuff, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is the Punjabi Wanderer. Right now I have around 7,100 followers. Yeah, I hope soon it will be 10K so that I get more collaborations. And on YouTube, I'm getting like a lot of new subscribers nowadays. It's almost 4,000. Maybe by the time I upload this video, it has crossed 4,000. You can follow me on Facebook. Yeah, that's enough of the self promotion. So yeah, if you have any other questions, anything that you want to ask, you can ask me in the comments. Yeah, I know you have all of you have this question, that how do I know so many locals, how do I get hosts? So the answer to that is couch surfing. And but then it's not enough. I'll be making a separate video on couch surfing, how you can also go to some other country, live with the locals there, enjoy, and everything about couch surfing, layman's guide to couch surfing, something like that. So I'll be making that video soon. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, share my videos, watch my Sri Lanka videos, bro. Like they're cool. Watch my Kazakhstan videos. Why are you not watching? Why are you just watching the Russian video? Why are you watching the videos only when there are girls? Okay, like watch the other videos as well. I've made nice drone shots. Watch those videos as well and share them. Bye.